What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's awesome here again, and I hope you guys enjoyed the intro. I don't normally do intros on this channel, but I haven't done any intros recently on this channel. But since I'm talking about Star Wars Battlefront, since I'm featuring Star Wars Battlefront in this channel, in this video, might as well bring back. I might as well use that Battlefront intro just because I kind of like it, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to implement to this video. But anyways, what am I going to talk about in this video? It was either last week or the week before. I think it was last week during an investor's call. I think the EA CFO, so some dude at the high, some dude really high in EA, the EA company. Someone somewhere near the top. Basically, in an investor's call, I believe in an earnings call with investors or something like that, basically confirmed that Battlefront 2 is on the way and due for a 2017 release. I'm sure it's a fall 2017 release, which definitely pleases me because I'm really looking forward to it. I enjoy Battlefront, and I'm looking forward to Battlefront 2. In this video, I'm going to talk about what do I want from Battlefront 2. So what I want from Battlefront 2 is, first off, I want it to move from the original trilogy era to the era of the new movies. Now, during the investors call, during the investors call, the EA, whoever the dude was, I think it was the CFO, but the CFO basically confirmed that Battlefront 2 would be featuring stuff from the new movies. So what do you mean by new movies? I'm sure it means Force Awakens and Episode 8, because 2017 Battlefront 2, it's coming out around the same time Episode 8 comes out. So I'm pretty sure it's going to feature stuff from Force Awakens and probably stuff from Episode 8 as well. And maybe some new stuff that we haven't seen before. So I'm sure it'll be moving from the Rebel Alliance versus the Empire to the Resistance versus the First Order. So I'm sure it's going to feature Force Awakens planets like Takodana, Dakar, and Starkiller Base, which definitely makes me happy. Something I would like to see in the new Battlefront, in Battlefront 2, is people have been ever since Battlefront has come out. People have been wanting a single player campaign. I personally would love a single player campaign in the next Battlefront. As a matter of fact, back in February, I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. You guys probably did. If you follow Star Wars or Battlefront or whatever, I'm pretty sure you probably heard about this. John Boyega, who's one of the actors in the new Star Wars movies, he plays Finn. If you don't know, he basically sent a tweet to the official EA Star Wars Twitter a couple months ago. This was a couple months ago. Basically asking if they were planning on implementing a single player story. From what I remember, they responded to him, but they didn't. I can't remember it is what they said. But I think they said something like try the mission mode or something. But that's basically the response that they gave him. I was kind of surprised that they responded to him, but anyways, the reason I'm telling you guys that is because people have been wanting a single player campaign in Battlefront, and I really want a single player campaign in the next Battlefront. Now, what kind of single player campaign is, or what kind of narrative it would be, if there would be a narrative at all, is something that can be up for debate. Me personally, I was thinking of this earlier. Maybe it can be like tell the Resistance First Order conflict, the war between the First Order and Resistance, from like the perspective of maybe a single soldier, like maybe a single Resistance soldier going through the events of the movies, the events of Force Awakens, and probably even to the events of Episode 8, and then or near the events of Episode 8, and then maybe even before that, maybe the campaign can explore some battles of the war between the First Order and Resistance that we don't know anything about, you know, I think that would be really awesome, and I think that'd be really interesting. Maybe there can be both. Maybe there can be like two campaigns, one from maybe there can be like two parts of this campaign, like one from a resistance soldier perspective, and the other from like a stormtrooper perspective, like the perspective of a first order stormtrooper. I think that would be really awesome. Me personally, I'd find that really interesting, and I'd probably find that really fun as long as they do it well, as long as they don't fuck it up. I'm not exactly sure if it's DICE that's going to be making the next Battlefront, because they're hard at work right now on Battlefield 1. So I know DICE is definitely they're a pretty big studio from what I've heard, and they're capable of taking on multiple projects at once. So and plus, I think they are the best team to be taking on this kind of game, to be taking on this kind of project, just because they are the creators of Battlefield, and Battlefield inspired the original Battlefront. So. And going along with that whole Force Awakens era thing, I'd like to be Force Awakens era, new trilogy era levels, like maps, like I already said, like Starkiller Base, Dakar, and Takodana, but probably some others too, if they can work some others in there. So I think that would be really cool, especially going off of especially for a Starkiller Base. Maybe like at the start of the match, have it be like daytime, but then as the match progresses, it gets darker. Because like, if you remember in the Force Awakens, as the Battle of Starkiller Base progressed, eventually, when the sun that the Starkiller Base was using to charge the weapon, when it was almost fully charged, the sun disappeared, and the whole base, it was basically turned into nighttime. If you guys remember that from The Force Awakens, I would love that to see something like that. Kind of like how in Battlefield 4, when if you guys remember Paracel Storm, as the match progresses, it gets more stormy and things like that. I think that would be really cool for Starkiller Base to go from daytime to nighttime. It's kind of like from what it looked like from the beginning of the battle to what it looked like during the a lightsaber duel in The Force Awakens between Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren. That would be really cool. And I guess that's a good segue into the next thing I want to talk about. Is that I want to play as new trilogy heroes like Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren, Poe Dameron, Captain Phasma, and I'm not exactly sure who else would be on the First Order side. I know they'd have 3 heroes for each faction. Like for the Resistance, it would be Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron, and then for the First Order side, it would be Kylo Ren, Captain Phasma. I'm not exactly sure who the third character would be. I was thinking maybe General Hux. Probably General Hux. If not General Hux, probably Benicio del Toro's character. If you don't know, Benicio del Toro is coming into Episode 8 as a villain. I'm not exactly sure what, the extent of his character isn't known, like what character he's playing exactly, and the details of his character he's playing isn't known. But I'm sure he could probably be like the First Order's 3rd hero. But I honestly think it'd be more likely to be General Hux as like the 3rd hero for hero character for the First Order side of things. Another thing there's one big change I would like them to make, and that is the vehicle system. What I mean by the vehicle system is how people get into vehicles and things like that. In the original Battlefronts, it was basically how it was in Battlefield, where there were vehicles all around the map and you can just hop into them. In the new Battlefront, it's basically like a power-up thing. You have to go, you have to like pick up a vehicle power-up, and then the vehicle comes in, that sort of thing. Me personally, I don't really like that system. Personally, I'd much rather for the old system, where it's more like Battlefield, where the vehicles are already scattered about the map and you can just hop into them. I think that just works so much better. It's a lot more fair, and you don't have people like rushing for those fucking power-ups, which is really annoying, because then you end up never getting to play with one of those fun vehicles. What else do I want to say? What else do I want to say? Something that people keep on bringing up, and two things that I think people keep on bringing up that I don't really get what people want, is one, Clone Wars stuff. I personally do not give a shit about the Clone Wars stuff. I'm pretty sure people might debate that with me in the comments, but I don't care. I don't give a shit about Clone Wars stuff. I am not a fan of the Clone Wars era. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff looks cool, but let's be honest. That's prequel stuff. And do we really want to be reminded of the prequels? I mean, come on. Yes, some of the stuff is really in the Clone Wars era are really cool, like the Clone Troopers, Geonosis was kind of cool, yeah, and a few other things. But for the most part, I'm not much of a fan of Clone Wars. Yes, Clone Troopers are cool, but First Order Stormtroopers are even cooler, even though they are pretty dumb. But First Order Stormtroopers are pretty dumb, but whatever. Another thing is that people keep on asking for in Battlefront is space battles. Guys, we basically have space battles in Battlefront already. It's called Fighter Squadron. And something that a lot of people seem to forget. In my opinion, space battles in the original Battlefronts got boring pretty quickly, in my opinion. Because space by itself is a pretty bland thing when you're talking about like from a gameplay perspective. Because it's so easy to just do space. It's kind of lazy to do space sometimes, if you ask me. Like, you can take a picture of space from Google Images, slap that in the background of your game, and you can call it space. And then put a bunch of like X-Wings and stuff in there. There you go, you can call it space. You got space battles. That's kind of lazy in my opinion. Plus, space is really bland because there's no obstacles or anything to traverse other than the capital ships. And the thing about Fighter Squadron is that, especially if you fly near the ground, there are obstacles and stuff and things to traverse, and that's really fun. Creates a really interesting dynamic, in my opinion. Even though I think those obstacles can definitely be expanded upon in the next Battlefront or in future Battlefront DLC maps. I do like that the idea of things to traverse and things like that, especially on like Tatooine and things like that. I really like that. I think that adds an interesting dynamic to the combat. But other than that, guys, Fighter Squadron is pretty much the same damn thing. It's just not in space. Just because you don't have a space backdrop does not mean, from a gameplay perspective, it's the exact same fucking thing, people. I'm serious. It's literally the exact same fucking thing. I don't get what's so hard to understand about this. It's the exact same fucking thing, just with a different backdrop. From a gameplay perspective, it's the same exact motherfucking thing. Fighter Squadron, space battles, gameplay-wise, are the same damn thing. I think that pretty much wraps it up from what I want to talk about here, from what I want in Battlefront 2, and I guess a little bit from what I don't want in Battlefront 2, but you guys get my idea, you guys get my points here. I've covered basically everything I want to say. One thing I want to talk about, guys, is I think later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to have another video coming up. It's not going to be related to Star Wars at all. It's going to be about my opinions on the Uncharted 4 single player. Uncharted 4 has been out for almost a week now, and I haven't made any videos of it. I just beat it. I just beat it yesterday, and I'm going to be giving you guys my impressions of that. The only problem is though that I'm running into is that I recorded a bunch of footage last night. However, I looked back at a lot of the footage, and I'm honestly not really happy with a lot of the footage that I recorded. So I have to re-record a lot of the footage. But expect that probably tomorrow. I expect that probably tomorrow, maybe later tonight, but probably tomorrow. Anyways, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. Please like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you guys. Please tell me what you guys want to see in Battlefront 2, and I will see you